Hello, everyone, and welcome to UNSHAME Kentucky's August webinar, Rallying Around Recovery, a Recovery Community Showcase. My name is Michelle Juma, Project Management Specialist at Shatterproof, and I think we have a fantastic 60-minute webinar for you all today. Just to let us know who's in the room, please feel free to use the chat box and include your name, organization, what city you're joining us from. We really love to see who's in the crowd. All right, so some general housekeeping. This event is being recorded and will be available on the Unshame Kentucky website. If you visit the events page, you'll also see a copy of the presentation available after the event. All attendees will be muted throughout the presentation, but please feel free to put questions into the Q&A feature. The chat box is also available for general comments, but it won't be moderated as closely. Our interpreters, hey Sarah and Tina, they'll remain spotlighted throughout the event. So if you cannot see the folks on your screen, I encourage you to visit the view button on the top right of your page and switch to gallery view or side-by-side view if it's available. Closed captioning is also available for this event by selecting the closed caption CC button on the bottom of your screen. The Unshame Kentucky webinar series is brought to you thanks to a partnership with the Kentucky Opioid Response Effort and Shatterproof, and a special thanks to the folks at Kentucky Office of Vocational Rehabilitation who are providing ASL interpreting services for this event and all future webinars in the Kentucky series. Our agenda today consists of this overview and then key presentations from our campaign partners talking about the exciting events they have going on during Recovery Month in September, as well as a chance for you to get to know their programs and organizations better. We'll then do quick resources slide, which will also be available after the event. And then a survey will be shared with the public for those who are interested in giving us some feedback. It will automatically appear on your screen, but just in case, I can also drop it into the chat box for folks who want to open that and have it ready to go to fill out the survey. I'd now like to bring forward Chapin Leatherwood to introduce the Unshame Kentucky campaign.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And Michelle, as always, thank you for the tremendous amount of effort that you put into these webinars. We really appreciate it. My name is Chapin Leatherwood. I'm Senior Program Coordinator working on the Unshame Kentucky campaign. We're going to take a look at a quick overview of what Unshame Kentucky is. What are our goals? Unshame Kentucky is a 12-month evidence-based behavior change intervention aimed to reduce the addiction-related stigma held by Kentuckians. The campaign is delivered by Shatterproof, which is a national nonprofit committed to ending the addiction crisis in America. We work in close partnership with the Kentucky Opioid Response Effort, or CORE. This project is supported by CORE through a SAMHSA grant. Unshame Kentucky, we have three primary goals. Those goals are to increase the knowledge about opioid use disorder, referred to as OUD, and really let people know that recovery is not only possible, but probable with the proper support. We want to improve attitudes towards those that are living with and or in recovery from OUD. And lastly, we want to better develop Kentuckians' understanding of the disease so that those folks can go back and better support loved ones and community members with OUD. We do this through a three-pillar approach, including community connection, story sharing, and education. Community connection means that we're engaging with community-based organization, folks that are in Kentucky working in the space to figure out what are those needs, what can we do to better support. And we work with a community impact committee, which is a group of people who live in the state of Kentucky, are connected to the space, and they really help guide us through this campaign, let us know what's working, what can we do better? How is this campaign being received on the ground? Our story sharing looks like we collect stories from people that are in recovery, friends and family of people who are in recovery, or folks that work in the treatment industry. And we share those stories across social media, as we've found in our evidence that putting a face to this disease really helps people better connect, and be more willing to learn about this disease. Lastly, in education, we have this fantastic webinar series, and we leverage our community-based organization networks to help spread that anti-stigma messaging. And we use our social media tools to make sure that this messaging is being delivered to the right audiences, and is being heard by the folks who will be most impacted. And I just want to say today, I'm very grateful that everybody is here and shows up with a willingness to learn, a willingness to support. I know there are going to be a ton of great events going on in Kentucky throughout Recovery Month. And that's really what it's all about. I always say, you know, it's about us showing up so that the next person can see that, and that next person can start their recovery journey. So very grateful for everyone for being here. I'm very excited to learn more about what is going on in the state of Kentucky and how we can better support. So I will now hand it over to our partners at CORE to kick us off.
Thank you, Chapin. And thank you, so many thank yous to Shatterproof for their leadership and innovation in Kentucky's UNSHAME campaign. The reach of the UNSHAME message, which is our statewide anti-stigma campaign, has been phenomenal. Each month, we surpass our goal by orders of magnitude to reach more and more Kentuckians. And we really attribute that success to the co-presenters that you're going to hear from today, but also you on this call being present right now, participating in UNSHAME in this way. And so I really believe fundamentally that this work that we're doing together in this capacity on this topic is how we become stronger than opioids, which is for a long time now been how we've been characterizing our mission with CORE, but it really is also about being stronger than stigma. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes to unpack some of what this rallying around recovery means for CORE, because it's not just a platitude. Rallying around recovery during National Recovery Month is really an opportunity to replenish hope. There's real personal and tragic harms of the overdose crisis that weigh heavily on all of us every day, and we wouldn't be here if they didn't. These emotions and the outrage over injustice, they're what help us sustain our commitment to the work, but they're not sufficient alone, and alone will overtake us. And so we have to balance and center hope and gratitude and resilience at the same time. And we rally around hope because we know it's real. We see it every day. And the mission, as you heard Chapin say, is that others see it too and experience it as well. And in fact, I know that you on this call are on the front lines and you get to see it the most. And so this platform that we've built through UNSHAME is really that avenue to share the hope with others. And it really is the essence of our campaign, because stigma can't compete with hope in that way. So the theme of Recovery Month is also really critical to hold in this conversation. The theme, if sure everyone knows, but recovery is for everyone. Every person, every family, every community. And so that's a message of hope for all, right? It's a message of love that's around inclusion and belonging. Because right behind the words of the message, I hear reflected the recognition that things like poverty and class and racism and social isolation and trauma and stigma against certain pathways to recovery and sex-based discrimination and other social inequities, these are all known to affect people's opportunity to experience recovery, both as an individual or as part of a community. And so when we rally around recovery during this next month, we're called to dismantle that which does not support inclusion and belonging in this experience, in this larger movement. If I was to be so bold as to edit the theme or name itself, I might rename it to Recovering with an ing is for everyone. Recovering is an ongoing process, right? It's an action rather than just a state or an end goal. I also like recovering because it's inclusive of harm reduction, and it's inclusive of all that an individual defines through their personal journey and through their own goals. And last, I just wanted to say that, rallying around recovery means rallying around recovery capital. And so recovery capital refers to the total resources, all of the resources that a person has available to them to find and maintain remission and recovery. And so this can include a wide range of resources, or what they call capital, which can be accrued, expended, and replenished, just like other forms of capital. And so this is physical or human capital, family and social and cultural, but also community capital. And so community capital is really the essence of Recovery Month. And I pulled a quick definition for us so that I could get it right for you. So Faces and Voices of Recovery describes this as the attitudes, policies, and resources specifically related to helping people resolve substance use disorders. So this can include recovery activism and advocacy aimed at reducing stigma, what we're doing right here, a full range of SUD treatment resources, harm reduction, peer-led support, mutual aid meetings, recovery community organizations, recovery housing, recovery ministries and churches, visible and diverse local recovery role models, and the resources that sustain intervention programs like deflection and diversion. And so I just wanted to wrap up by saying that for CORE and the Kentucky Department of Behavioral Health, one of our central roles and commitments is to create that infrastructure that ensures community recovery capital. And so as we enter Recovery Month together, please be active in your community because, as I said earlier, it's not just a platitude. It's about building community recovery capital, one that is inclusive for every person, every family, and every community. And enjoy the time of reaffirming hope. And I look so forward to hearing about all the activities that we're going to be doing. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marks. I'd now like to invite folks from Achieving Recovery Together forward.
Good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Juanita, and I am a person in long-term recovery. I've been in recovery for 26 years. Achieving Recovery Together is a hub in Clark County that when anyone is looking for recovery or wanting recovery, or a family member that's wanting to support their loved ones, they come here. And we will help them with any part of recovery, whatever how they want to do it, we will walk with them through it. We honor all ways to recovery. We work with a lot of community partners, a lot of nonprofits. We work with the hospital, the court system, with 911 calls, the EMS, just everybody in our community works together to overcome the substance use disorder that's going on in our community. Our schedule of events for September for National Recovery Month, as Katie said, recovery is for everyone, every person, every family, every community. So we have some fundraisers, but we also have some community events for education. So the first event that we do is the Treasured Art Show, and that is Saturday and Sunday during the Pioneer Festival. We have artwork donated to us, and that artwork is auctioned off. And also there's a best of show, second and third place. So there's something in it for the artists. There's cash prizes. And then the person who comes and wins that bid on the auction gets to take that piece home. Treasured Art Show was named that way because the pieces that are donated are a treasure to the artists that created it. Some of them are people in recovery and it's part of their past or where they're at right now. And also family members who have been touched by substance use disorder. So, at the end, everybody gets something, and it's a fundraiser for us. The second thing is the Rally for Recovery, and that's the 23rd of September. And so we have an event here on Main Street at the courthouse. We have speakers, we have testimonies, we have free pizza from Hunt's Brothers Pizzas. We also have a DJ, an NC music. There's a lot going on. We have a remembrance walk for those that we've lost to overdose. And we also have pinwheels that we put in the courthouse lawn to remember our loved ones. We also, this year, we're actually having a jail or bail. So that's another fundraiser. So it's a lot of activity on Main Street, and it's a fun evening. People come out, we have a kids zone, just a lot going on. And we want to break the stigma that we are people who have just made the wrong choice, went down the wrong road, and we're like everybody else. And with these events, we have people in recovery who volunteer and are part of the whole event. So the people can see that we're just like them. Also, then the next morning we do a 10K, 5K run, and that is a fundraiser. And we have an awesome time out there. It's out in the country here in Clark County, the Kroger Youth Soccer Field. And we're there like at 6:30 in the morning. So it's an early morning, but it's a fun time. We have resource tables, which we do that on Friday night too. But it's a great time. It's foggy sometimes, but it's such a peaceful event. And, you know, people come out and we get to share, we get to talk. We have coffee that early and donuts. So if you're interested in any of these events, please contact us. You can contact our office and come out and join us. The phone number's on the and websites on the screen. Just come out and join us. We have a lot of good support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juanita. All right, Get Apparel. Adam, would you like to come forward?
Yes, my name is Adam Larkin, CEO of Get Apparel. I have over 3 years in sobriety myself. I created my clothing company to inspire other people. I'm going to actually show a YouTube video with Get Apparel's mission, and then I'll go into the event. It's just a quick video. Oops, that was the wrong video. Sorry about that.
If you could go into the advanced share settings, I think we could set up for audio to come through because we're not hearing anything.
Where is that at?
I can't quite see it on my screen, but if on the share screen button, there should be a small arrow towards the right, and it should have some options come available. And I think it's allow computers internal audio. Unfortunately, I can't see it on my side right now.
I can't see that. I'll just go over the event. It's all right. So we are throwing the first annual Get Recovery celebration. It is September 10th, 2022 from 5 to 9:30 p.m. It's going to be at the North Laurel High School football field. We're going to have live music. We have 2 bands playing, 8 Days Sober and Magnolia Vale. We're going to have a bunch of food at the event. We're going to have games brought from London downtown and set up. We're going to have inflatables set up for kids. So it's going to be a great event, not just for people in recovery, but also people in the community in general. I'm on the London Chamber of Commerce, so I have a big passion, having multiple years in recovery myself, to showcase, not let alone, what's going on with the opioid epidemic, but the solution to that and what happens on the other side, having multiple years in recovery, giving back. And we're going to have a bunch of vendors set up as well. I actually work at Stepworks Treatment Center when I'm not doing my clothing company and promoting nationally, Get Apparel, but we're going to have resource tables, a bunch set up. We're going to have vendors. At the end of it, we're going to have a lantern lighting ceremony to celebrate people in recovery. They're going to write their sobriety and clean dates on it and light lanterns into the sky. I got a professional videographer who'll be filming it. It should be really cool. And also, if anybody's lost somebody in substance abuse or alcoholism, as well as if you're just a member of the community and you want to come out and light a lantern with us and have a good time, it's going to be a great event. As others were stating, National Recovery Month is September, so that's why we're doing it then. Every family, every community, even if you're not in recovery yourself, a lot of people are affected by a family member, a friend, or a loved one. So it's definitely a passion of mine. And also, as some of the other colleagues were stating, social media is a great tool for this. I actually just hit myself 50,000 followers on my personal page. So we're getting the word out there, like the main mission isn't to showcase what we're doing, but it's to give back and show others that recovery is possible. I'm pursuing my CADC in college right now, and I just have a deep passion for recovery, and I'm just glad to be a part of this organization. And I think Michelle has links that I sent her to Facebook and YouTube, so you can check out Get Apparel's mission on the YouTube channel after this. But I thank you guys.
Thank you so much. And you're getting lots of support in the chat. So I will be sharing out those links and they'll be included in the post-event email for folks to follow up on. But I'd now like to invite the folks from Oxford House forward.
Yes, my name is William Fox. I'm a senior outreach coordinator with Oxford House Inc. I am also a person in long-term recovery. And what that means to me is I haven't seen it necessary to use the drink or drug since October the 24th of 2017. I'm trying to get to my shared screen. So Oxford House Inc., recovery without relapse. Oxford House started with one of the houses in Silver Springs, Maryland in 1975. Individuals in recovery can live in an Oxford House as long as they stay drug and alcohol free and pay an equal amount of the household expenses. Stability in the house is a result of residents moving out when they believe it is the right thing to do, and they are comfortable enough in their sobriety to avoid relapse. The homes are self-run and utilize rented, nice single-family houses, keeping expansion costs low. Houses are available to men, women with children, and men with children. Today, there are more than 3,200 Oxford houses throughout the United States and in several other countries. The Paul NIAAA study. There was 897 Oxford House residents interviewed. Too far. Interviewed every 4 months for 2 years. 13.5% had relapsed. Income increased from $794 to $942 per month. 80% of the residents are employed. We have an 80% success rate. Less than 5% are incarcerated. Less than 5% incarceration. Federal government identifies Oxford House as the best practice 2000. One DePaul University study from NIDA followed 890 residents living in 219 Oxford houses for 27 months and found only 13% had relapsed. Another DePaul study randomly selected from 150 individuals leaving treatment, with one half going to Oxford House and one half going to normal place of living, and followed them for 27 months. 67% of those to Oxford House stayed clean and sober, and only 30% of control group. 3 core principles of an Oxford House: democratically ran, financially self-supporting, and there's immediate expulsion for relapse. Where are Oxford House located? We're in northern Kentucky, Boone, Kenton, Campbell County, Jefferson County, Hardin County, Davies County, Henderson County, Pulaski County, McCracken County, Christian County, Warren County, Taylor County, Scott County, Fayette County, Madison County, Rowan County, Carter County, Boyd County, and we are expanding into Pike County, Harlan County, and Franklin County. Our membership: individuals must be in recovery from alcohol and or drugs. They can be accepted following application and an affirmative vote by 80% of existing members. Some individuals come to Oxford House after detoxification or a treatment program, if they can find or afford these services. In many cases, individuals get clean and sober while in criminal custody. 80% of the population living in the Oxford House have been incarcerated. Oxford House's general demographics. The average age of residents is 38.1 years. 68% are male and 32% are female. Average length of abstinence is 9.4 months. Average length of residency is 9.5 months. 86% have been in treatment 2.6 times before Oxford House. 71.1% have experienced homelessness. 85.2% have been incarcerated, averaging 7 months. 13% are veterans. 83.2% of residents are employed. The members of the Oxford House have an interest in ensuring the house runs smoothly. We have house officer positions, which are a president, a secretary, a treasurer, a comptroller, a coordinator, and a housing services representative. Here is a graph of the difference between the traditional halfway house, the sober living house, and the Oxford houses. You can look to see that we are a little different in some fashions. Membership. Complete the Kentucky reentry application 30 days prior to release, which could be requested at reentryky@oxfordhouse.us. If somebody is incarcerated and needs an application, we can get home placement letters through that website. If they submit the application there, as much detail as possible listed in the application, including family support, legal, and case management, the release date, the area for placement. Applications will be reviewed by a house in the local chapter, and an 80% vote must be passed to allow acceptance. Acceptance letters to contacts provided. So this is probably the greatest information that I could provide, is the oxfordvacancies.com website. If somebody is looking to apply for an Oxford house, all they have to do is Google oxfordvacancies.com. They can access and find homes in the individual area. Google Maps directs you to the home. Additional contacts provided. It provides the gender of the home, like the women, men, women with children, men with children. So it's the worldwide database for our homes. This is some of our homes. This is Oxford House Prince Williams for 8 men located in Louisville, Kentucky. This is Oxford House Athea for 10 women located in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. This is Oxford House Candlebox for 10 men located in Lakeside Park, Kentucky. Thank you very much for allowing me to present today. My name is William Fox. I'm the Senior Outreach Coordinator with Oxford House, Inc. It provides my information and also the regional manager's information and the vacancy website in our home address at www.oxfordhouse.org. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I believe now, one moment. I'd like to invite the folks from University of Kentucky forward to share more information about their new program, new website.
Thank you, Michelle. My name is Danita. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about Find Help Now, which is a substance use disorder treatment locator website. Then I'm going to pass it off to my colleague who's going to be talking a little bit more about what's happening in the recovery space. So you can go to the next slide, Joseph.
Hold on. It's not cooperating with me. Let me stop share real quick and see if I can.
All right. So again, that's I'm Danita. I have been with the Kentucky Injury Prevention and Research Center for about 3 years now. I work as an educational services assistant senior. And in my role, I primarily try to build stakeholder development to share the word about what Find Help Now is, to provide education to both the public as well as our providers, to try to get them to onboard and register with the website so that there will be facilities, substance use disorder facilities available for the public to find. So we continue to cultivate those partnership engagements by participating in events such as this. You can go to the next slide, Joseph. Just to tell you a little bit more about who KIPRC is, the Kentucky Injury Prevention and Research Center was established in 1994. It's a unique partnership between the Kentucky Department for Public Health and the University of Kentucky College of Public Health. KIPRC serves as an academic injury prevention and research center, and we're also the designated bona fide agent for the Kentucky Department for Public Health, and we focus on statewide injury prevention. And so this Find Help Now, ky.org, is a substance use disorder locator with the primary focus on trying to help serve as an intervention to reduce overdose. So the goal for Find Help Now is to to allow individuals who are seeking substance use disorder to be able to swiftly locate near real-time available treatment options. So what near real-time availability means is that we have fostered this relationship with those providers that have decided, hey, we want to partner with your team at Kiprick and register our facility onto your website. So what that means is that they take ownership, partnership with Find Help Now, and they update that information. And so whatever information that an individual finds is what those providers are responsible for providing to you. So if you go to the next slide, Joseph, this is what an individual finds when they're seeking substance use disorder treatment using the website. So the logo that you see to my top left is the Find Help Now ky.org logo. If you type in Find Help Now, if you just type that as Google, you'll find lots of things that will appear under Find Help Now, but that green logo is our logo, which will lead you to this resource. We partner with the Operation Unite, the Kentucky Opioid, the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy, and the Kentucky Department for Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disabilities. Those are our three main partners, and those are the people that you will see on our landing page. When an individual is seeking substance use disorder treatment options on the website, if you're not able to locate the treatment that you need, through our partnerships, we have clickable links. So there's also an option that you might be able to click those links and be connected to a live individual who can help you with finding the specific substance use disorder facility that might offer the treatment that you're looking for, whether that be medication assisted treatment, if that's wraparound additional services that you need, or specific types of insurance that you need. So we have the hours listed. So there's individuals there that are available during regular business hours. There's people there on the weekends. And then we also partner with Norton, and we have the Kentucky Opioid Assistance Resources Hotline. And so that is operated by nurses. And so individuals can contact those people after hours. And so there's always someone there that can help people when they're looking for services that can help with that referral process as well. We also have information there for individuals that are looking for HIV clinics. Also on the website, we have information for needle syringe exchange. So we have great resources listed on the website. Right now, we've had over 800,000 visits to the website and about almost 10,000 visits to our resources page. So we know that people are engaging on the website. So if you can go to the next slide, Joseph. We have over 700 facilities that are registered and over 300 providers. We have over 70 filters, so you can make a very specific search based on what your needs are. And again, I just listed out for you those statewide call center numbers so that if an individual needs that extra assistance when they're looking for that substance use disorder treatment, there is that live help available. So Joseph, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Danita. So I have been working as a part of Kiprick to develop kind of a sibling to Find Help Now. We're calling it Find Recovery Housing Now, ky.org. It is going to be a locator for available recovery housing options for individuals with substance use disorders. This locator finds recovery housing openings across the state. Recovery housing can be the next step in long-term recovery for individuals by providing direct support in a sober living area to ease back into regular day-to-day living outside of inpatient treatment. This locator is built to be used by individuals with substance use disorders, families, friends, social workers, treatment providers, probation, parole officers. So pretty much anybody and everybody. Some of the features will be that the recovery housing will show available openings, robust collection of recovery related resources, glossary of words that may or may not be common knowledge regarding populations or words around recovery, products available regarding recovery, brochures, pamphlets, magnets, and then the ability to request technical assistance for opening and or operating a recovery house from the Fletcher Group, which is one of our partners. Here you will see a screenshot of what our homepage is going to look like. You can see our logo in the top left. Here we have a quick search bar where you can just put in real quick information about yourself, kind of what you're looking for in the area that you're looking for. You'll hit search and you'll be able to find these homes. Top right corner, you'll see to get you back here to find houses. There's the resources, products, and login information if you are a owner and operator. If you are an owner and operator, you can put your house on this site. You will list the facility house or name, the geolocation, specific address, or vague location for privacy and security reasons. We do have an option to not show specific addresses. House details that can include, but are not limited to, policies and rules, organizational information, program services, rent, amenities, and more. We have a section for how the house defines abstinence, as we have found that idea varies widely across the state and across the nation. Resident characteristics the house specializes in and serves, so the populations that they work best with, accreditations, affiliations, and certifications of the house, such as NAR certifications, application or contact information for the application for the house. Here you can see a screenshot of a completed profile. You'll see the name, where they're located roughly, and then in the top right, you'll see available beds as of, and there's a timestamp that is for the near real-time availability that Danita was talking about earlier. We have taken that and we have used it here as well. You can see that house description, pictures, and then the residents that are served that they cater to best. Programs and bed availability for how the beds are broken up across the houses. Can have a total number of beds by program or by room, however the owner and operator wants to utilize that. The number of available beds, the types of bathrooms, whether they're shared, private, and whether or not they're ADA compliant. Resident population characteristics served by each program and room. This information is easily updated on any device, mobile, tablet, or a laptop, because after logging in, it takes about 2 to 3 button clicks before you can update to complete updating your availability. So overall, it takes less than a minute, and that includes logging in. And this is a screenshot of a dashboard that a house might see if you were an owner and operator. You can see your house name, the total beds, those that are available and those that are occupied within your system. Variety of settings on the left. Where you see update bed availability, that is exactly where you will go to update your bed availability, and you can click that there are no changes, or you can update your changes as necessary. We have 19 houses already onboarded. 18 of them are Kern or NAR certified. The other house is in process. We have a system set up so that people can use our system to apply for current certification once they're brought onto the site. We go live in September, and we are extremely excited about this. So here's our contact information if anybody needs anything regarding this, if they want to join the website, or if they know somebody who wants to be on the website, get their houses on here. That would be great. We'd love to talk to you. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you so much, Danita and Joseph. Next up, we have Voices of Hope Lexington.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. And first, I want to say a big thank you to Michelle and everyone at Shatterproof. I know it takes a lot of work to put these virtual symposiums on, so I really appreciate that. I'm Dr. Alex Ellswick. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Kentucky and a co-founder of Voices. And definitely the most important thing about me is I'm a person in recovery. And what that means for me is my life just keeps getting better every day. And I'm excited to share about Voices, but the story of Voices really begins with my experience, my family's experience. I grew up really fortunate, really privileged, to be frank. But when I was 18 years old, I got addicted to prescription opioids. And addiction took me all those bad places that people go. I went in and out of treatment, on and off the street, in and out of jail. And I eventually found a recovery that worked for me. And what I realized when I got into recovery is there were a lot of people who patted me on the back and told me that I had recovered because I was strong or I was brave or courageous. And I desperately wanted those things to be true. But what my experience has taught me through working at Voices and through academic research is that that's not the reality. People don't recover because they're strong. I'm not any stronger than my friends who are still struggling in active addiction. The difference is my privilege. The difference is I had access to all of the things that I needed to meet my needs, to insulate me from stress, and to give me the opportunity to really pursue a real kind of recovery. And so many of my friends who are struggling still today didn't enjoy the same access to the things that I needed. And Dr. Marks already alluded to what that is. That's recovery capital. And I'll mention that in a second. That's what we build. That's what we focus on. But once I started my recovery, my family and I wanted to recreate that kind of experience for someone else, to provide other people in recovery access to the holistic resources that they need to be happy and be healthy, be the best versions of themselves. So we went to the Northeast and checked out a couple of recovery community organizations, and we came back with the idea in mind that we wanted to create a one-stop shop for recovery, like all-inclusive, everything you could need. And so our vision is
Alex?
Yes.
We're seeing the presenter screen. If you could switch in display settings.
Yes, thank you. I can do that quickly. A second. That better?
It's vertical or it's maybe slightly
All
smaller.
right, 1 second.
Okay.
I promise. Oh. Still the same?
It is. Is there an option to the display settings, that middle button there, and just top left corner, upper left side,
Left display, got it.
and then swap presenter and slideshow.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, so our vision is a community celebrating recovery. And what that means for us is when I was starting my recovery, people had to go to church basements to go to meetings and to access support for their disorder. And part of that is because of the stigma that exists in the community, we get driven underground. And we didn't want to be party to that. We really want to stand up and say out loud, we're in recovery. We recover out loud. And we even think that our brick and mortar location is by itself a form of destigmatization, because it's standing up and shouting out loud, we're in recovery and we're proud of it. This is our asset, not our liability. So our mission is to promote lifelong recovery from the chronic disease of addiction. And we do that primarily through the provision of recovery support services, but also through advocacy, big and small, research, and education. And we're definitely committed to SAMHSA's definition of recovery. There's so much to unpack here, and obviously don't have the time in 8 minutes, but it's important not to gloss over the fact that recovery is a process of change. And for us, what that means is it's not an event, it's not linear, it's fits and starts and 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. And that means for us, we don't hold abstinence as the ultimate goal of recovery. In fact, to us, abstinence has very little to do with recovery. It is a pathway of recovery for those who choose it. But our definition of recovery really positions health and wellness and autonomy as the true goals of recovery. And so for us, that's the interest we try to serve for all of the participants who work with us. And we do that, as I mentioned earlier, by building recovery capital, by standing alongside the folks we work with and helping identify the needs that they have in their lives. Importantly, no two people in recovery have the same needs, because no two people have the same brains, the same bodies, the same experiences, the same traumas. So we have different needs that have to be met. And by the way, recovery capital also refers to things that are predictive of recovery. So if there are any of these variables that we can manipulate that improve someone's outcomes, and we don't even have to be talking about drugs. We're talking about housing and employment and education. We're talking about having, recovery-friendly employers and recovery-friendly communities and all these sorts of things. The primary program that we use to build recovery capital is recovery coaching. And importantly, that tagline there says, help participants meet their goals. We don't help participants meet goals that we've decided for them. We help participants meet the goals that they state for themselves. And that's because we recognize that our participants are experts in their own lives, and they understand the nature of the barriers and the advantages that they have better than anyone else. Our recovery coaching is also very peer-to-peer, it's egalitarian, we train our coaches not to treat participants as recipients of our services, but rather as resources themselves, to really use an assets-based approach that says, hey, even within you and even within your addiction, and even as you're near bottom, you still have resources available to you that you can leverage that can improve your livelihood. Yeah, we have lots and lots of other programs that we would need more time to share about, but my favorite program that we have is telephone recovery support, because it's so simple and elegant. It kind of flips the idea of sponsorship on its head. So rather than having a person putting the onus on a person to reach out to their sponsor when they're feeling tight, we reach out to people with pre-scheduled phone calls. So sometimes people will say, I really don't experience cravings all day long. It's not until I get home from work and I'm sitting alone and I'm isolated and I have nothing to do. That's when I start to get tight. And that's a perfect time for us to schedule a telephone recovery support call for our volunteer, who likely is in recovery, to connect with them and say, how's your recovery going today? How can I help you with your recovery today? So we connect people to resources. And as I mentioned earlier, it's about exploring each participant's kind of unique experience and the unique advantages and disadvantages that they face, and trying to leverage those and fill those gaps as needed. But importantly, we're not just connecting people to resources, we're also reducing barriers. And in many cases, this is just as important in order for someone to access the help that they need. So one example would be access to methadone. Methadone is one of the FDA-approved medications to treat opioid use disorder. It's one of only 2 treatment options that can actually reduce the mortality associated with opioid use disorder. It's an incredibly important resource, and yet there are extraordinary barriers to people accessing methadone. And one simple barrier is simply getting to a methadone clinic. Many people won't have a clinic in their community. They might not have access to methadone without going to an adjacent county and taking a 90-minute drive, and that requires a car. So we innovated around that by developing a transportation service that has driven thousands of miles to get people access to the life-saving medications. So it's just one small example of the way that we do that. We also promote holistic recovery. So this is, you may come to Voices of Hope and spend an hour with us and never hear a person say anything about a drug or anything about an addiction, because we're so much more focused on the potential of recovery than the pathology of addiction. We're focused on meeting needs and giving people the things that they need to get well. And maybe most importantly, we encourage hope. So we sat down to decide how to do to structure our evaluations for our programs. And initially we thought we want to measure all of our programs in terms of recovery capital, because that's the outcome we care about the most. The problem was there are certain kinds of interactions that we can't really expect to increase recovery capital, real short-term fleeting interactions, but we wanted to be able to evaluate those as well. And so we decided the metric that we could evaluate across all of our programs is hopefulness. The ultimate question is, are our participants more or less hopeful about their recovery after they've engaged with us? We think that's what's most important. I'm going to wrap up here just by sharing an event that we've got coming up this Saturday. This is our 9th annual Overdose Awareness Day. It's an opportunity primarily to memorialize the lives of those we've lost to drug-related death. So you may know that oftentimes when people lose their loved ones to an overdose, they may not print an obituary. They certainly don't receive the kind of Hallmark cards and flowers, the kind of support that family members get when they lose their loved one to a car accident or something else. So it's really a dedicated space to provide a safe space for those families to come and to honor their loved ones and to honor their lives and to grieve. But it's also a place at the same time to celebrate recovery. And we do that in lots of different ways. There'll be 33 vendors from various organizations in the state who do work in this space. We have, food and games, and there's a bounce house and snow cone, lots of fun for the kids. There'll be lots of valuable resources like Hep C HIV testing provided by ABOL. There'll be overdose response trainings and Narcan. Lots of opportunities to engage and also to really live and speak hope in the lives of people in recovery. So I'll stop there. Thank you all so much for the opportunity to share about Voices.
Thank you so much. Now our last presenter is Young People in Recovery. Billy, if you'd like to come forward.
Mute. My name is Billy O'Brien. I'm the Kentucky Program Manager for Young People in Recovery. I am also a person in long-term recovery with over 6 years of sobriety. I just thank you for the opportunity today to talk about YPR and all the wonderful things that we have going on in the state of Kentucky. Go ahead and share my screen. So Young People in Recovery is a peer support organization focused on recovery-ready communities throughout the nation. We currently have 12 chapters in the state of Kentucky and over 60 across 15 states across the country. YPR envisions a world where all young people have the resources they need to thrive in recovery from addiction, from drugs, and alcohol. YPR's mission is to provide life skills and peer supports to help people recover from substance use disorder and reach their full potential. YPR aims to improve access to treatment, education, and employment opportunities and secure quality housing on local, state, and national levels. By creating a national network of individuals in recovery, we empower people to get involved in their communities by providing them with the tools and support to take charge of their lives and their futures. A couple of things that YPR does is we do a life skills curriculum that we take inside of treatment facilities, prisons, jails. What I want to talk about today is My Recovery is Epic. We refer to it just as simply as Epic. It is a life skills curriculum offered exclusively by YPR to treatment facilities, equipping participants with tools to access housing, education, employment, and community, 4 areas that SAMHSA identifies as crucial to a successful life in recovery. YPR and our partners have found that individuals who are more actively engaged in their life planning are also more successful in their treatment and recovery process, becoming more informed decision makers. EPIC stands for Engaged, Peer-Driven, Integrated Community. The EPIC program is available at treatment facilities across the state and across the country. What we teach in EPIC is recovery messaging, education, housing, employments. There's 2 parts to that. We teach finance, we teach leadership and empowerment, talk about healthy relationships and holistic health, and we talk about the neuroscience of substance use disorder. And then that is our life skills. And then, the other thing that we do that is probably geared more towards this presentation is our chapters. Our chapters work to make their communities recovery ready by providing free services such as advocacy and community organizing events, including town halls, asset mapping, rallies. We do pro-social activities that may include fitness-based outings, skating, hiking, yoga, ultimate Frisbee, dodgeball. substance use free social events, tailgating, concerts, holiday activities. And we also do weekly all recovery meetings. And all recovery meeting is an open support group for all who have experienced addiction, are affected by addiction, or support the recovery lifestyle. These meetings encourage all pathways of recovery to come together and build community. So we do not single somebody out just because they have one chosen pathway. Everybody is welcome to us. And we also really rely on our what we call recovery allies to come in and share their stories with us also and their support. We also do regular workshops to develop improved skills that will support those in or seeking recovery. Those can range anywhere from advocacy to education to financial wellness, housing, recovery, messaging, empowerment. And then I've got some, this is just kind of some of the events that we do around Kentucky. We had a beach day here recently where we grilled out and had, family friendly day at one of the lakes here locally. We do monthly recovery hikes. I know that we and some of our chapters invite treatment facilities to come along to get their clients out of their setting and get them outside to enjoy some activities. We do guided meditations bi-weekly in our Louisville chapter. We do glow in the dark Frisbee. A couple of our chapters are involved in doing community cleanups where we go around and not only just pick up trash to make the communities look better, but we also pick up used syringes, and during those we can pass out Narcan and test strips, as part of harm reduction and just try to make the communities a safer place. These are some of the events that we do. This is a bonfire meeting, an all recovery meeting. Those are really well attended. One of our chapters had a camping trip this past summer and went to the gorge, and that is a picture from on top of one of the mountains there. Some more pictures of us hiking. These are a couple of treatment facilities that joined us on our hikes. And this is part of our advocacy right here. A couple of our chapter members in Washington, D.C. lobbying for some change that we felt was necessary. Another all recovery meeting where we celebrate achievements. I believe this gentleman had just celebrated his first year of sobriety. There it is, glow in the dark ultimate Frisbee. Usually you come out to Louisville and you can find on a Saturday night about 60 people or so out there, whether they're playing or the kids are using the park facilities. It's just a lot of fun. I didn't know that I liked ultimate Frisbee, but I absolutely love it now. In the wintertime, we go indoors and do dodgeball, dinner outings. This is one of our workshops. Our chapter lead, Jenny, took in a workshop and told a group of 300 men about YPR and what we do. Tabling events out in the community and, holiday things. This was a neat outreach program that we did. We had chapter members get together and decorate Christmas trees that were then donated to less fortunate people in the community. And the children there were able to make their own Christmas tree ornaments and had a really good time, and obviously got to meet Santa. And then as far as Rally Month goes, YPR, so we've got 12 chapters across the state. We will be down in London with Adam and the Get Recovery on the 10th, and we really look forward to that. We will have 2 of our chapters there talking about YPR, and we will be streaming Tipping the Pain Scale down there. I'll get to that in a minute. But here in Louisville, our big rally is on September 17th from 11 to 3. We're actually hosting it this year on the University of Louisville's campus. We're partnering with an advocacy group there, Advocates for Recovery. And, typically we have between 300 and 500 people show up for our rally here in Louisville. We have Sydney Sled, who is a person in long-term recovery, She is releasing an album, her first album next week. And so she is going to be performing at our rally. And then we have Goober and friends showing up to make it a kid-friendly event. Goober and his friends talk about mental health with kids, and they do it through singing and dancing and other fun activities. We also have like the balloon guy there doing balloon animals, cotton candy, face painting, and Dr. Marks was saying at the beginning, recovery is for everyone. We want everybody involved in our event this year at the rally, and so we're making it open to everybody. These are some pictures from our past rallies. Last year we had the mayor come out and support us. Dollar Green, who I believe is performing at another event here during Recovery Month, he performed for us last year. And then the last thing I want to talk about is one of the founding members of YPR is the producer of Tipping the Pain Scale. And through a partnership with him, YPR has the rights to show Tipping the Pain Scale. And we will be doing showings of Tipping the Pain Scale across the nation during Recovery Month. The first showing in Kentucky will be on Overdose Awareness Day, August 31st, down in Paducah, Kentucky. Our chapter down there will be putting on an event down there. And then in Louisville, we'll be showing it in conjunction or in partnership with the Louisville Recovery Community Connection on September 19th. And I know that our Somerset chapter is partnering with Sky Hope Recovery down there, and they're going to be showing it at a movie theater. And then our other chapters across the state are going to be showing it. And if there's anybody out there that would be interested in potentially showing this, feel free to get in touch with me, and we will see if we can make it happen. If everything aligns perfectly, we like I said, we have the rights and we're willing to go out and show it. And I've also talked with somebody at CORE about possibly being able to show it at the Capitol at their event, I believe on the 16th of September. So hopefully that will work out. That's kind of what YPR is, what we do, and what we've got coming up. Again, if anybody's interested in what we do or more about YPR, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Billy. There was one quick question asking if this film is geared towards adults or youth, so you can either respond audibly or in the chat.
To be honest, I have not seen it yet, but from what I can gather, it is a documentary that I believe would be geared towards anybody. They're basically just talking about the opioid pandemic and what led to it and what has caused it. So it's more informational. So I would recommend it really to anybody.
Thank you. So I want to thank you, Billy, and all of our presenters today for sharing your time, the resources that you've had provided. And I've compiled many of the events that were featured in today's webinar into a list here. This will also be available in the post-event email and be uploaded to the Unshamed Kentucky website. We want to be a resource to our partners and make sure that we can advertise and help support or endorse any of the really great work that you guys are doing in your own communities. I also saw there were a number of events that were thrown into the chat, so I'd love to go back and include those as well, but please feel free to reach back out to us at Unshamed Kentucky so we can promote all the great things happening during Recovery Month. I would also like to, sorry, having some trouble advancing slides. Yes, I'd also like to let you guys know about our September webinar, which will be combating OUD stigma within the workplace and cultivating transformative leadership. The page is now available on the website with a number of links and descriptions to hear about our speakers. But I think that will also be a really engaging conversation. So with that, that closes our August webinar. Once again, I ask that you complete our post-event survey and give us some feedback on this event and follow up with the great organizations we heard from today. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.